Episode 2 of our series, WrestleMania season. Carl Kalanch for the Sports Hit List by the fans and for the fans, joined by Mr. No Days Off. Mr. Nick over here, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing
Everything good?
Hey, good. Hey, it's WrestleMania season.
Listen, we know what it is. So episode 2, we wanted to feature our WrestleMania journeys. So for those who may not know, I've attended 4 WrestleManias, WrestleMania 26, 27, 28, and 29 consecutive. And how many do you have?
I've attended 4 WrestleManias consecutively, 33, 34, 35, and 37. We don't talk about 36 here.
Yeah, so watching WrestleMania and being there are 2 totally different things.
100%.
Before I say it, for you, what inspired you to actually decide, you know what, this year, I'm not watching it at home, I have to be there, I'm gonna go?
So I grew up around the wrestling YouTube age. So I watched these couple of guys every single year. They'd go, like almost like they went to the same ones that you went, and they would post vlogs every single year. And I'd watch them like all throughout the year. I see them going to Access, the Superstore, the Hall of Fame, Raw, and I was like, I want this. And like growing up, I don't know why I never thought I would ever go. And then me and my brother's a huge fan. And we kind of just decided we were going to go to WrestleMania 32 in Dallas. Things kind of fell through last minute. And the whole time watching that show, we kept looking at each other saying, we're going next year. And the Orlando ad played, and we were like, Orlando.
33, right? So that's 2017?
Yeah, 2017. We said next year we got to go, and we made it a pact, and we made it happen. And it's been ever since.
So my first was 2010, and I went on accident. I had a buddy of mine, he was celebrating, I believe it was his birthday, and he got tickets for him and his friends to go. One person backed out, couldn't make it, and another guy backed out. And another guy, he came to me, the other guy was like, Carl, you have to go, he's gonna lose the ticket. Can you go? It was in Arizona, and I'm like, I got work. Like, what are you guys talking about? I can't go to Arizona, just randomly go to Arizona. It wasn't even planned. Next thing you know, he's like, come on, please, Carl, all you gotta pay for is the flight, everything else is paid for, just come. And I was just like, all right. I moved some stuff around because my work shift was a little bit more flexible. Next thing you know, I'm on a flight to Arizona by myself to go to WrestleMania 20. You're right, and it's crazy. I was waiting. I got a call for WWE for an interview that same weekend. I was like, listen,
you told me that.
Right, what's going on here?
Timing.
So, just going down there, and the guys I went with, superstar Ron Hustle, shout out to him. Hollywood Jason Marrero, shout out to him too. We had a great time, and also Justin Lopez, who got us the tickets. Shout out to him, even though me and him are kind of got that spotlight beef going, but. It was just amazing time. It was great. We actually were the kind of fans that you don't like. We were hotel hopping.
Hotel access, I call that.
Yeah, yeah. So what we do is we basically camp out at the hotel, and we're able to see what stars are coming out. We saw Matt Hardy. I met Jack Swagger, Teddy Long, and some of the guys were there earlier before me, so I had a chance to meet Tony Atlas, Edge, Dolph Ziggler. So. The hotel access, it's kind of stalking, but that's part of the WrestleMania weekend.
It's all the experience,
Yeah, for sure. What would you say as far as access? Do you do all the access to the Hall of Fame? Do you do the entire package, or is it just WrestleMania itself?
So it's almost like every year things kind of got cut off the trip because my first year in Orlando for 33, I booked my trip to the max. I had like 4 access sessions, Hall of Fame, Raw, SmackDown, everything. And after that trip, I was exhausted. I was like, okay, I can't do that again. That was way too much in like a small span of time because everything runs on times and nothing, ever runs on time. So, you have like everything planned out and then one thing goes off the rails and your whole day is kind of messed up. But yeah, the access is fun. I think the access, if anyone watching this is going to WrestleMania, yeah, meeting people is obviously really cool, but there's a lot of other things to do on access if you don't want to wait on like a 2-hour line. I got to sit down with Tom Phillips at an official announce desk, and they play 30 seconds of a match, and we got to call it and commentate together. We got to make our own entrances. I know me and you have done that to pass access. There's a lot of cool interactive things to see at access.
Yeah, so I did access. As I said, I did 4, so I did it at 26 and 27. They were great. I mean, you got to meet you get online, you get to meet some of the stars are there. I get to meet a lot of divas. I have some pictures of some of the divas there. We did the Undertaker's graveyard. One time they had Paul Bearer there, and we took a picture with him. Vince's office was there. I remember seeing the burnt limo from that terrible 2007 promo that he died. They put Shawn Michaels' uniform up there and all his ring gear. They actually have an in-ring where some of the developmental guys were actually in a match.
Yeah, they've done that. Yeah.
So it makes me just want to have that. I know there's been talks about that WWE museum kind of thing, but they don't know if it generated enough funds, which is why they have a traveling access. But access is part of the WrestleMania package, and I think it's a great thing. I didn't get to do it in Miami or New York, but the 2 times I did it in Georgia and in Phoenix, it was great. And I traveled with the same group of guys again, and we did, not only did we do that, but there was also other wrestling events going on around there. So I think at 2011 at 27, that event where we met Kevin Nash and X-Pac, and we were like this. It was just like a dream.
That's the cool thing with WrestleMania is like there's a lot more to do than just the WWE slated events. There's events, and nowadays with the boom of independent wrestling and all these other conventions, yeah, you can go to a convention and meet some like, Scott Hall, Trish Stratus, Lita, a lot of the older people that might not be at an official access, but there's like a lot more to do to expand your horizons if to meet every fan's need.
For sure. So the last part I want to discuss are memorabilia and collection. And I think WWE Treasures kind of inspired me to collect. Now, even before that show came out, I never really collected, but there's always a souvenir you want to remember your WrestleMania moments by. So for the 4 you've been to, what is it that you have to have no matter what?
So my non-negotiables, I call it the non-negotiables, which means every year at the Superstore, which again, if you've never been to WrestleMania, we can do a whole video on that.
For sure.
When you walk in, it's like the program, and then you see behind us the cups. The cups are the cheapest thing there, $5. Every year they're cool. I love the chairs. I get a chair.
I'm jealous. I'm really jealous.
A chair somehow, some way at every single WrestleMania I go to. I've never sat in the actual seats to get the chair, but I always end up with one at the end of the night. So those right there are probably my 3 memorabilias. So
for me, it's I have to have the programs. Can someone bring me my programs? Jared, can you bring me my programs? No, I'm going to break screen here, but Jared's going to get my programs. I have them over there. I forgot to bring them on set.
Breaking the fourth wall.
Breaking the fourth wall, right? Only on the sports hit list. The T-shirt or the program we have to have. Jared, thank you, man. Appreciate you. So for me, the programs are everything, right? So this one is classic because it's my first WrestleMania. I have to have it, and it goes along with the T-shirt. And I always make sure I always purchase a sweatshirt. One of my sweatshirts got ruined in my car, and I had to throw it out. I can never find it from I think it was 29. And some of them started becoming faded over time, right? Because it's just the nature of the wear and tear. But the program for me is always the coolest thing. This is from 26. This is from this is 28, sorry. This is from 27. And part of the program is you get some of the stars to sign it, and it pretty much highlights the WrestleMania card, and it highlights, this was supposed to be Edge's last match, and it turns out that it wasn't. So, and then you have 28, where you get Cena Rock 1, and then 29. You get the back-to-back main event in Cena and Rock again. So those for me.
Note that I will say, I'm sorry, WrestleMania 27 is probably one of the worst WrestleManias of
It
all
is.
time.
It really is.
But
honestly, yeah, I was there for that one.
Again,
yeah.
I wanted to mention that the big thing with WrestleMania is the show can be terrible, but that will not affect your trip. I went to WrestleMania 34 in New Orleans, and hands down, best vacation I've ever been on. Not even wrestling vacation, best vacation in general. The show, I didn't think was all that great, but the trip itself was a trip I'll never forget.
And I'll tell you this, I was supposed to go to 30. I was going to be done at 30.
That would have been
And the reason why I was literally marked to go to 30. I said I was going to do 30. That was going to be my 5th one. I'm done. I'm out the game. No more. I was going to do 5 in a row. That's it. The reason I didn't go to 30 was, as I was planning it, the school I worked at, they asked me to go on a Disney trip. And they said, could you chaperone a Disney trip? And I'm like, spend money on WrestleMania, go on a free Disney trip and chaperone some high school kids. Yeah, I'm going to Disney. And I didn't go. And it turns out that's the Mania I should have been at, because you open with Cena, Rock, Hogan, and Austin. I think it was Austin, right? No, it was Austin.
It was Hogan, Rock,
Austin. Yeah, not Cena.
Followed by Bryan versus
Triple H. And then that's the one where Taker lose, that's the.
I couldn't imagine being in that building when Taker lost.
I was like, and I was literally watching that one on my phone. And I know we'll talk about matches when we get to the matches episode, but that's the regret of me not going to 30. Yeah. And it kind of broke my streak, because I wanted to do 5 consecutive. That was in my mind. I was going to do 5 in a row, because once you go to 1, you're like, you got to keep the train going.
There's no turning back once you go to 1.
Yeah, so I think that's the thing that keeps you going. So thank you for watching episode 2 of our special WrestleMania season. Stay tuned for episodes 3 and 4. Like, share, comment, subscribe to all Sports Hitless content.